Welcome to the Periwinkle Pomegranate Podcast, from women, for women. We're here to help you thrive, express your creativity, heal through natural wellness, and find peace every day through our faith-based discussions. And now, here is your host.
Good morning. I'm Tiffany Windsor.
And I'm Mary.
And Mary, I want to start off today's episode from 3 John 1:2. Beloved, I pray that all may go well with you and that you may be in good health as it goes well with your soul. Can you figure out what we want to talk about today? It's self-care. And I must admit that this has been a hard topic for me. I'm sure it's because I do not take enough time to remind myself that I need to take care of myself. So I hope, Mary, we can talk and share about ideas today, from very simple ideas for self-care, but also what stops us from wanting to go into that space.
Agreed. And I think it's super important to talk about permission, to allow yourself to have permission. And I love that you started with that Bible verse, because our God, our Creator, who are made in His image, gives us permission through that verse. Beloved, make sure it's well with your soul, because if it's not well with your soul, you've got nothing to give to anyone else. So you have my permission.
You know I love to say that to you. I noticed here 1 Corinthians 6:19 and 20. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body.
You know, coming from my history, sometimes that feels like a directive or an order or something I'm not doing correctly. So instead of accepting that beautiful permission, it feels more like marching orders. And so I need to shift how I feel and think about that verse. And that's interesting.
I reached out to my sister Candace in anticipation of talking about self-care, because I didn't come up with the list. And bless her, she gave some very simple ideas. And let me read them to you, and then you can tell me, Mary, what you might start with. So how about just sleep and naps, or just quiet meditative prayer time? Bubble baths, book a massage, candles, incense, and music. Of course, my favorite is worship music. Spend time in nature, aromatherapy, and take me time every day to ground and center yourself. For me, I do that through prayer. Try to find joy in everything that you do, and be thankful and be love.
I love all of them. I was coming out of kind of a dark season where, none of those things would have appealed to me. But what really helped was having a sister give me a hand. And so I'd like to add just talking it over with someone, and over the phone is fine. Text is not as good, but face-to-face works best. It really does, because we give each other energy, and the love of Christ, we can actually feel that. And that's what church does, right? Church helps us focus on our Creator and how much He loves us. And if we don't know how to tap into that on our own, we need people to help us.
I was mentioning to you earlier that my church time is my self-care time, and I don't know if others think of it as an obligation or if they do think of it as their self-care time.
And I don't want this to sound like a list of things you have to do now to take care of yourself. I've heard this saying before, where you eat the meat and you spit out the bones. So you just think about this and ask yourself what you need. What does your soul need now? And if it's just to sleep, then do that. I don't know how everyone feels about Jordan Peterson. There's lots of a range of emotion about him, but he said making sure your environment is organized and neat. It goes a long way for mental health and self-care. And I find that's true too. My bathroom countertop is super messy because I have everything out. If I don't have it out, I won't use it. So I need to cull that and clean it and have it be a thing of beauty, to where I want to use those things rather than have to use those things. So I understand if you're in a place where it's not easy to even start one thing, but maybe just set the timer for 5 minutes and clean up that spot and then go take a nap.
Great suggestion. I was just thinking about self-care for me also has to do with my love of animals. And I'm in a place in my life right now where I don't have pets. I definitely miss that. I rescued small dogs in the past, and I was in a spot where I was working from home. So it was great for me to be home, and I'm working full-time right now. So I have not been able to rescue any dogs. So what did I do is I set up a bird garden, and that is self-care for me. It's just as I'm looking out at those birds right now, those are pets that I can have that when I'm home that I can enjoy watching feed. I adapted my self-care needs to what's going on in my life right now. So I'm definitely very grateful to all the birds who come and feed at my 5 feeders.
I love that image. And dear one, God creates a shelter for us right by his side. He has so many verses of creating a nest for the mother bird and her young, and he provides food for them every day. And so knowing that your creator wants to create a space for you, whatever you're worried about, he has a plan, and he's got you in his hand, in his sight, just like the birds. That always helps me trust God that he's got a plan even if I can't see it. And so permission to let down your guard and let God take care of you will help you if you struggle with sleep or naps or taking care of yourself in that manner.
I encourage everyone to find something today that really speaks to them about self-care and take action on that this week. If you can't do it today, make a date with yourself to take one moment of time where you're going to dedicate it to self-care.
I give you permission.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us for today's podcast. For more information, go to periwinklepomegranate.com. Sign up for our newsletter and social media. We love your feedback. Please leave reviews, comments, and subscribe to this podcast to help us get the word out about Periwinkle Pomegranate. Thank you, and dear friends, have a blessed day.